Come on, Cohagen. Give these people air. Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, the weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? What would you do if someone stole your mind? Let's find out in this week's review and breakdown of Total Recall from 1990. Before we begin this week's episode, we're going to release the first half of the review this week, a spoiler-free intro of the movie, and then the following week we'll release part 2, which is the deep dive breakdown of the same movie. This will give you the opportunity to go watch it and then come back the next week and listen to our take. Or you don't have to watch it, just come on back and nestle in for the meat and potatoes of the review. Let me know if you like it or hate it. Tweet me at PopcornPriest. All right, we return you to your regularly scheduled program of Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest. Enjoy.
Mr. Quaid, try to calm down.
My name is not Quaid. They stole his mind.
They erased your identity and implanted a new one.
Now, he wants it back.
We can't let him run around. He knows too much.
There! Get ready for the ride of your life.
Please fasten your seatbelt.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall.
I guess technically I'm ex-theater projectionist, current projection technician.
Man.
So my job title changed only slightly.
They Pacino'd him, man. They pulled him back in.
Yeah. instead of pushing the button, now I replace the button if it breaks.
Speaking of, joining me today is reoccurring guests and friends of the show, Brain Rat Marines and Noble Gas Tribe.
Yes.
Welcome to Mars, gentlemen. The description for this one: when a man goes in to have virtual vacation memories of the planet Mars implanted in his mind, an unexpected and harrowing series of events forces him to go into the planet for real. Or is he? Question mark.
I thought they stopped using the word harrowing in movie descriptions after the 1950s.
No.
Then they changed it to riveting.
IMDb has brought it back.
Harrowing, riveting,
That's
spellbinding,
so horrible, the description. I mean, I guess it's
magnetizing.
Who writes that stuff, do you think? Is it just some guy?
The marketing people, the PR. I'm sure they come up with all the descriptions. So
yeah, I wonder if
official
they
press
write
release.
it or if they get it from...
It all goes back to the
the
descriptions they had
studios.
to give TV Guide for when it played on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Directed by Paul Verhoeven, friend of the pod, director of some movies you might have heard of: RoboCop, Basic Instinct, Starship Troopers, and the highly acclaimed Showgirls.
Yes.
Based on a short story from Phillip K titled... Whoa.
Yeah.
Siri is trying to get on the pod.
Yeah, it turns out Paul Verhoeven is Siri's trigger word.
Based on a short story from Phil K. Dick titled We Can Remember It For You Wholesale. Screenplay by Dan O'Bannon, creator of Alien, which is pretty cool. Top billed stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sharon Stone, Michael Ironside, Dean Norris, and also featuring Ronnie Cox as Cohagen. Runtime 1 hour 53 minutes, rated R. That's for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Nudity, violence, language, adult situations.
Greatness.
Greatness.
Mutant faces.
Mm-hmm. The Toxic
Yeah,
Avenger
just
on Mars.
Glorious squib explosions.
Yes. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says sci-fi action compared to IMDb's action sci-fi thriller. See, I don't understand the thriller part.
It's not a
thrilling movie. It's sci-fi action.
Well, it's thrilling and, the vastness,
it's
like what they
thrilling
find
in,
on Mars.
Blockbuster adventure way, but it's not thrilling in like, oh man.
Well, it's not
so
thrilling
tense.
compared to movies nowadays.
Well, I mean, it's just
exactly.
not thrilling and like it's not like trying to make you nervous and like edge of your seat.
Yeah.
It's just
fun.
action and you're enjoying.
It's like a ride.
Yeah, it's like, would you call Indiana Jones a thriller?
No.
That's not what they're doing there.
They should say it's
He thrilled me with his whip skills.
Speaking of IMDb, they give it a 7.5 out of 10 from 312,000 reviews.
Swine. All of them swine.
Rotten Tomatoes, 7.5 if you're above 7 on IMDb,
I know. I'm
it's
just
amazing.
saying the fact that
I know that
I just don't respect that.
95% of everything's 60% or like 65.
Yeah, I don't think.
I remember looking at the top 200 on IMDb and I was like, swine. These
I think
people
the
are all
top
swine.
movie is like 9.1. Like nothing gets higher than that on IMDb, which is weird.
Well, it's just
Swine.
the scale is a lot larger with 1 to 10 rather than 1 to 5.
True.
They're swine.
Rotten Tomatoes gives us an
Oink, oink.
82% from critics, 74 critics, mind you, and 78% from 100,000 audience ratings.
Yeah, what are the negative reviews of there? Like, I don't like it. It's violent and not funny.
3 boobs is not natural. 1 star. Dislike.
It's probably
Me and my Christian wife returned this
it's like
tape to the
those
store so
people-
fast.
This offends me and I don't like it.
It's the people who wanted to get it like taking
Arnold's-
it down from an X rating. I think it started out as an X
It's
rating.
like Arnold is not a very good actor. It's like, that's not the point of these movies.
Yeah, it's like
How can we show Arnold shirtless more often in this scene?
That's right.
Let's have him in bed.
it's like Commando. It's like
Yeah,
it's just great. You don't.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Just, you should look at it for what it is, not some weird thing you want it to be.
Don't ask why John Rambo was wandering through that particular town.
Yep.
Wonder why they had to mess with him.
On an estimated $65 million budget, this one made a worldwide box office haul.
Let me guess. Can I guess?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you go ahead and guess.
I'm going to guess somewhere between around 261 million worldwide.
Yes,
I'm gonna
you
guess.
got it.
I'm so good at
I'm going
this.
to guess based on what it deserves. $1 trillion.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Sony's been writing these profits for years, ever
It's
since.
the basis of all of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Foundational.
At the time of this recording, you can stream this right now on Netflix and Pluto TV, or coming soon permanently to Popflix, which is my own personal streaming service. It's my server in my house. And if you choose the highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest permanent collection. And you won't have to say, oh, is it on Netflix or not? It's always on Popflix. Go to patreon.com/popcornpriest and donate to the show. Now that brings us to the hottest segment on podcasting right now. Should or shouldn't you watch this? 5 reasons why you should watch this.
Yes, you should.
One note on the streaming service.
So, yes,
even as
you
reoccurring
have to
guest
say
stars, me and
yes.
Taylor don't have access.
Yes, and done.
You can.
No, I know. I just mean it's a
How
privilege held for the
exclusive it
most
is.
High.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you need to donate. No, you can
No, I
have
respect
access
it.
because you're reoccurring guests. I just need to get your email addresses.
All right. Sorry, you were saying?
So please add to these 5 reasons, but I'm going to go through the 5 reasons why you should watch this. Number 1, Phillip K. Dick fan? Yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean,
Number
it's
2,
got a lot of it. A lot of his work's been adapted. So, I mean, I think if you've liked any of it, you could be like, oh, sure, I'll check it out.
yeah, and it's not a faithful
Yeah, it's like
reproduction of his
jumping
short
off
story.
point, uses the ideas kind of thing.
And that's
Yeah.
really all you need for this one.
it makes you think.
Because they readapted it for that one remake, that one other movie with Colin Farrell. Was he the guy?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Total Recall?
Yeah,
other
the one
version?
that came out a couple years. Well,
Yeah, it was
10 years ago.
Kate Beckinsale and Jessica Biel and then Colin Farrell and then Brian.
It wasn't rated R. It was.
No,
It
it's
wasn't rated
PG-13.
R. They didn't go to Mars.
They didn't even go to Mars.
No,
They
they
had like this weird tunnel thing that went
There
to
was-
Australia for some reason. I don't remember.
it's like
I
the-
saw it one time, and apparently I dreamed
there's
it
like
away.
there's like one spot in Britain and then one spot in Australia, and they like travel
Yeah, they go
through the world because
center
it's
of
hollowed
the
out.
Earth through like
They
this,
use
like,
gravity to like
weird
travel between.
tram
It's
thing.
it's so over the top.
I don't get it.
That's horrible.
But maybe that was in the short story. I never read it.
I need to read it. Have you guys read any of his short stories or
Not
novels?
short
or
stories,
anything?
just novels. I'd read like Android's Dream of Electric Sheep.
Was
in
that good?
Like high school, yeah. I mean, that's what like Blade Runner ended up being based on, and it's different because, of course, it is. But
Yeah. After reviewing a bunch of the movies that are based on his works, I really want to read it. So, number 2, if you're an Arnold fan, I mean,
yes,
for sure.
absolutely, yep.
Number 3, what's better than seeing one character squirming around with their eyes bulging out of their face? 3 of them. That's why it's number 3.
I was gonna say like
There's three of them.
that does happen, and it is good, but
It's not a reason to watch this?
No, I'm going to say, like, I would expand that and say that practical effects is the reason to watch this.
I like
and that's
that.
kind of
The 90s.
But I didn't know what else you have on your list, so I mean, I didn't want to get ahead of you.
Well,
Was that on there?
number 4.
Taylor, if you just waited 30
I just
seconds.
waited. I know. No.
Some of the coolest practical effects that
Yeah,
still hold up
being
30 years
punished
later.
for
At least you two think
Well,
alike
anyway,
in terms of why to watch
In a way, I'm
this.
really just criticizing him for having the same thing on there twice, which is what I'm saying. If I said
I mean, you might be right. Can you believe this is 31 years old?
it's so good. Like it.
It doesn't feel like that. I mean, there's some stuff in it, obviously.
There's some dated like
It's the feathered hair. The hair is what I can tell that's from the 1990s. Sharon Stone's curly
But
Jim
it
out.
just it makes me hate like a lot of the modern CG blockbusters a lot more. I don't know. It's just kind of
When you can tell everything's a green screen.
Well, do you think a movie like this can be made again?
Absolutely not. No.
Well,
The only one I could think of that was close because of all, I mean, this movie had a ton of miniatures that they, big miniatures that they built for this. The only one I could think of was like Lord of the Rings.
But even
did
that,
Well-
PG-13 and not
That's true.
an absurd 80s action type movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like the window's closed on that. Like, you're not getting all those practical effects. You're probably not even going to get like the glorious squib explosions with all the gun shootouts. Like,
Well, and you're not going to be able to get a movie that makes, $261
that's another
million
thing.
dollars.
Yeah, it's not enough.
They're doing
like,
this.
They're like, we're not going to waste our time on that.
Yeah.
We're here for make some $1 billion CG
It's-
monstrosity.
they
that we
spent
can
$65
sell
million
all over the world.
to have Arnold trying to remember who he is for 2-hour runtime and threw in some sex just, to keep things interesting.
Product of another time, man.
Speaking of that, number 5, I wish I had 3 hands. That's number 5.
Yeah, that's
No spoilers, but you should already know that. And it was so popular in the 90s that they brought it back for the remake in Total Recall. They had another lady,
They did?
they? I don't
remember that part.
thrice breasts. At this point, there may be some spoilers up ahead, so if you don't want to be spoiled, go and watch and then come back and join us for our breakdown of Total Recall. Well, folks, sorry to cut this discussion off, trying to keep it spoiler-free for you. Find out even more trivia, more stats. Join us next week for part 2 of our review and breakdown. See you guys next week.